Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. All right, today I got to talk to you all about something really important, and it involves one of the four basics of posture: grip, stance, posture, alignment. We're going to talk about number one, grip. Why is grip so important? Well, grip's important because it's your hands that hold the club. Your arms, hands, your arms and hands swing the club, so they got control over the golf club. Which you notice I had to use the word control. All right, so proper grip is also going to be critically important for squaring the club up at impact. And that only happens if you do a number of things. First off, start with a good grip. A good grip is a palms perpendicular to the ground grip. Both hands are perpendicular. A good grip is you lay the club in the left hand, in the root of the fingers. The heel of the pad gets on top at about 12 o'clock. The thumb goes over to about 1 o'clock on this side, and there's a V there, and it's got space in it. Many people believe the thumb should be down the shaft, but it's not correct. It should be here because your palm's in perfect balance when it's always pointing up your forearm. If it's on top of the club, it's missing your forearm. You want it here pointing up. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's how you grab things. You pinch them, all right? So we want the club that position there. Right hand, you crimp the fingers, pucker the thumb. You lay the club in the pinch of the fingers, in the crimp, and then when this comes down, and as you start to squeeze it, it creates a big gap in there. God gave you that gap for one reason, to cover the left thumb. And then you hold it in there, and you squeeze upward with both hands with the bottom 3 fingers. This right hand is held like a trigger on a gun where you squeeze the trigger, or like you're holding a fishing rod and you cast it. You got that in there, and you don't want to cast the club letting it flop around in that V. So that thumb is just enough pressure on it to see that the rod stays there, so you can snap that club, and you just, as you snap your arm, you're not doing it with your wrists, you're doing just like golf we lift. We lift from the elbows. The perfect 3P grip means if I stand here and I open both palms, both hands, fingers should be to the ground. Most people, you're going to see this. They're going to be pointing mostly that way. Now, even if one has a perfect grip at address, one of the things that can ruin that grip and turn you into the biggest chopper of the ball you've ever seen, and you're never gonna chop it the same way twice, is what we call a re-gripper. Many golfers start with a good grip for whatever reason. You know, there's re-gripping, and then it's just milking. Milking is just gonna, you kind of like loosen, tighten. You might even move the finger a little bit. Re-gripping is you change the grip, and in most cases you change both hands, but especially you always usually change more than anything the top hand. And re-gripper is going to stand here, and even when you start with a good grip, if you kind of let go of that club, you're going to let go of it and re-grab it. It's almost every time even if that club face is square, I'm going to re-grip it. I grab it, and the club's changed in my hands. You see where that ball went? I did it behind the ball, and it actually moved the ball over there. Because 99% of the time, I believe, you re-grip with the top hand, you're gonna shut it. Look how shut that club is. Now when you shut it, and if you re-grip with both of them, this one's probably gone a little too high, or it might go under 2. Or maybe it stays in the same place. But the problem is now you come back, and you bring that hand back, the palms perpendicular to the ground at impact, that club face is now dead square, dead shut. Where's it going? The ball's going over there. So all of a sudden now you're hitting balls, and from this area, if I had the club shut that much, there's a good chance I'd miss the net and it'd go right into the middle of the backyard over there. Okay? That's how much it can be. So then now you don't want that anymore. So you start off, you check your club up in the air when you walk in, like I always talk about. You come down, you stand over here, and the next thing you re-grip when you start your backswing, and the club's come back shut. So now all of a sudden your brain says, hey, I don't want the ball going there. What do I got to do? So next thing you know, it's now shut, and now you start doing these kind of things. And when you're doing this stuff, trying to square the club up, and this hand's going this way, you're actually shortening this arm. So now all of a sudden you take away chunkies into the left and low lefts, and now you introduce what? Thins into the right. And every now and then you might get it pretty solid, but even when you do, it's still going to be a dink because you've added a whole lot of loft, and you're tightening up your arm to just try to hit it. Re-gripping is absolutely the worst thing you can do. That's like shooting yourself in the foot with never mind a pistol, you're shooting yourself in the foot with a bazooka if you're a re-gripper. And I see a lot of re-gripping. So that's why one of the most important things you can do, beyond just having a good grip, is learning to stand here. And once you walk in, you get the club to the ground, and everything's here. You don't milk, and you don't re-grip. You just maintain that perfect, beautiful grip pressure you got, fairly firm grip pressure, and which one, you know, scale of 1 to 5, we want it to be at least a 3, equal pressure with both hands, and just maintain it and start it, and start from a dead stop. Always come to a dead stop and then start your swing. Re-gripping is as bad as it gets. That could be, that's right up there probably in the top 3 worst things you can do to make sure you're not going to hit a good shot very often, if ever. All right? So, raise your right hand and swear that you will never re-grip again. And how can you start learning it? Heck, if you have to, you don't need to be at a golf course like today would be out here in South Carolina, you know, beating balls, sweating bullets, and getting blisters. You can just do it at your house, sitting in your chair, and do this, and just waggle, and then start to hit the club back a little bit. Make yourself a little small club, or just do your hands and just get that going where you never, once you set it, you never change. You get it that you grip it. A grip is a grip, and it doesn't change. It doesn't change until you finally get here and you let go and walk out after you've just seen yourself hit a pure shot. Dead solid straight right out there towards where you want it to go. All right? So, hopefully that ends re-gripping, and I'll never see that again on a Surgite. You do that, we'll all be happy. I'll be happy and you'll be happy. Okay? Well, that's it for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.